So, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. So we will continue with our class, the previous class, leadership chapters. So previously we have talked about leadership concept, the characteristics, the principles, the roles and all. So today we will continue with the leadership styles and theories. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So to the content of today's topic will be, I'll give a brief introduction, then I'll give some definitions, leadership styles of different types, and leadership theories, and we will summarize the content of the leadership styles and theories. So in the introduction here, uh, leadership is an integral part of management and plays a vital role in managerial operations. Here, leadership provides directions, guidance, and confidence to the employees and helps organization in the attainment of goals in much easier way. So in short, like it induces individuals to contribute optimum towards the attainment of organizational goals. Again, let's repeat the definitions of leadership. Leadership is the process of influencing the activities of an individual or a group of to give to achieve the goals of an organizations in a given situation. And it is an art of influencing and inspiring subordinates to perform their duties willingly, competently, and enthusiastically for achievement of goal of the group objectives. Here, when we see the leadership styles are of divided into various ways based on the authority retained, based on tasks versus people emphasized, based on assumptions of people, Likhart's four styles, and entrepreneurship leadership styles. So based on authority retained, the leadership styles has three types: authoritarian, democratic, and free reign. Here, autocratic leadership style, what does it mean if we say it is a leadership style where the leader makes all the decisions independently and without consulting any subordinates. Some of the advantages may include, like, it provides a strong motivations and reward for the leader for quick decision, and the subordinates are only to carry out the orders of the leaders, and decision making, planning, or organizing needs initiative. It is good in certain circumstances such as urgent tasks or military action, but there's also some disadvantage of this type. Say, like, poor decision can be made and poor level of employee motivations can happen. It may lead to frustration, and it may give full potential to subordinates and their creative ideas are not utilized, then organizational continuity is threatened. So autocratic leadership styles can be used in new untrained employees. Employees are motivated and employees do not respond to any other leadership style, or high volume productions needs and limited time of decision making, and managers power in challenge by an employee. Next type is democratic leadership style. Here in democratic leadership style, the leader encourages employee participants in decision making. So the leader in himself or herself is not making the decision. So he or she involve the subordinates or the employee. Some of the advantage may include, it is good or better for decisions making, and here it may improve the job satisfactions and moral of subordinates. But it also have some disadvantages. It may delay in decision because they have to consult everyone. So this style may not be yield positive result when interactions of subordinates with leader is minimum. This may be used as passing the buck to others, and of abdicating responsibility. These styles needs tremendously communicating. Okay, so democratic leadership styles is used when there is to keep informed, to encourage employees to share in decision making and problem solving, and to provide opportunities for employees to develop a high sense of personal growth and job satisfactions, and to encourage the team building and participations, because everyone is participated and no one is ignored. And the third type of leadership style is laissez-faire. Laissez-faire, here the employees are encouraged to make their own decisions within limits. It has some advantage. They have more freedom for employees, and there is positive effect on job satisfactions and morale of subordinates, and maximum possible scope for development of the subordinates. Then some of the disadvantages may include the only few guidance and little incentives may be achieved by the employees, and the subordinates do not get the guidance and support of the leader. It ignores the leader contributions just as an autocratic style. It is used when the employees are highly skilled, experienced, and educated, and the employees have pride in their work and to strive to do the successful on their own. Outside experts such as staff, specialized or consultants are being used. Employees are trustworthy and experienced. So let's compare the three types of leadership style: autocratic, democratic, and free reign. Here, in case of autocratic, the concentration of power is within the manager itself. Whereas in case of democratic leadership style, the concentration of power is shared between the manager and the employees. In free reign leadership, the concentration of the power is with the employees and minimal supervision. Now, regarding the decision making, in autocratic leadership, it is done by the manager itself. And in democratic leadership style, it is done by the manager and the employees. Whereas in free reign leadership, it is done, the decision is making is done by the employees itself. Regarding the communication flow, autocratic leadership style, communication flow from top to down. Whereas in democratic leadership, communication flow from two ways, both sides, the employee and the leader. In free reign leadership, the communication flow widespread and as needed. It depends on the needs. So these are the differences between the leadership styles. Now, based on the tasks versus people emphasize. Here, there are four types in this case: supporting style, participative style, free reign style, and autocratic style. In case of supporting style, there is a high relationships and low tasks. In participative style, there is high tasks and high relationships. And free reign style, low tasks and low relationships. And in autocratic style, high tasks and low relationships. So based on assumptions about people, according to Gregor's theory, there are theory of X and Y. Here in theory X, it says that they distrust people and believed in close supervision and tight control over the subordinates. But in case of theory Y, they are participative, they trust the subordinates and allow them to participate in decision making. Now, regarding the based on the Likhart's four styles, there are four types: benevolent, authoritarian, consultative, participative, and exploitative leadership style. Last one is entrepreneurship leadership style. Here in entrepreneur leadership style, a heavy task orientations combined with a heavy direct approach to giving instructions to employee, and the charismatic personality that inspires others to do business with him, and a much stronger interest in dealing with customers than employees, and the leader has a strong dislike for bureaucratic rules and regulations, anxiety to consolidate business against as quick as possible in this case. Now let's move on the theories of leadership. In the theories of leadership, there are few common theories, which includes the great man theory, trait theory, behavioral theories, contingency theories, charismatic leadership theory, transactional leadership theory, and transformational leadership theory. Now, in the great man leadership theory, it is proposed by Thomas Curley in 1840s. Here, he believes that some people are born to become leader, and the leader is a heroic act. But there is some criticism against this theory because it was a male-centric approach when the women are proved to be great leaders too. So only the male cannot be a leader, but even a woman's, there are also a good leader among the women. That is why this theory was criticized. And there is no scientific validations to support this theory. And it neglects the environmental and situational factors which affects the leadership process. That is why this theory is criticized again. Next, in trait theory, it is given by or proposed by Ralph Stockdale in 1940s again. Here he states that certain natural qualities tends to create a good leader. He focuses on individual characteristics of successful leaders, and the leader possesses a set of traits which make them distinct from the followers. Here he included some qualities of a good leader like physiological traits, socio-economic characteristics, personality traits, intellectual traits, and task-related traits, social characteristic traits. This theory was criticized since it neglected the environmental factors which may not always remain the same. Next is behavioral theory. Here, behavioral theory mainly focuses on behaviors of actual leaders. It determines how various kinds of specific leaders' behavior affect the performance and satisfactions of the followers. This theory considers effective leaderships to be the result of many learned or acquired skills. According to this expectations, traditional theories says that every leader can be identified by one of the four basic styles, which are democratic, autocratic, laissez-faire, or benevolent. So each leader may possess any kind of leadership style. So the effectiveness of the leadership will depend on what type of style do they have. Contingency theory. Here in contingency theory, it states that effective leadership comprises of all the three factors, which includes the traits, the behavior, and situations. Here, a leader behavior varies as per the situations. Behavior of leader depends upon the characteristics of situations. It implies under what conditions will employee-oriented leadership will be effective, and under what type of conditions productions-oriented leadership may be more effective. So under this contingency theory, there are there are three types or three models, we can say: Fred-Friedel contingency model, situational theory, and the path goal theory. According to this Fred-Friedel contingency theory, he tries to explain that the performance of a group team is banked on the pleasant and unpleasant situations and the style of leadership. Here, he says that the effectiveness of leadership depends on his motivational style and favorableness of situations. According to this, The leadership style can be assessed with the help of the least preferred co-worker scale. So if a leader score high on the LPC scale, that means he is highly relationships oriented and treats even the least preferred co-worker generously. But if he scored low on the LP scale, he is a task-oriented leader, prioritizing the work and performance. So the leader managed to perform effectively in the favorable situations, in this case. In situational theory, uh, it is proposed by Hersley Blanchard, which states that the leadership depends upon the maturity of the subordinates. So according to the following of four styles, telling, selling, delegations or delegating, and participating. So based on this, the leadership, uh, how mature he is will be depending. That will be the outcome of the effectiveness of the leadership. So telling, when a new person enters the organization, he has to be told everything. That means he is given training and orientations. Selling, here the leader leads by providing social and emotional support to the subordinates and convincing the groups to give a minimum output. Delegating, the leader are least concerned about and hardly interference with the executions of the tasks. Okay, then participating, it is a democratic style where subordinates are allowed to participate in this decision making process. Here the leader is less focused on the achievement of objectives. The path goal theory. Here, the path goal theory is developed by House in 1971. He described that the way that leaders encourage and support their followers in achieving the goals they have been set by making the path that they would take clear and easy. Again, in 1975, House and Mitchell identify four leadership styles: directive, supportive, participative, and result-oriented. The choice of style depends on the combinations of subordinates' personal goals, subordinates' personal characteristics, and the work situations. Then according to the situations, example, the Hazel work instructions with an unmotivated subordinates. A leader will choose which leadership styles to favor. Example, directive or supportive and participative or result oriented. So in path goal theory, the leader job is to use in structure, support, and rewards to create a work environment that helps the employees reach the organizational goals. In charismatic leadership theory, here the leader must possess some extraordinary and exceptional qualities to become an effective leader. So the key traits may include foreseeing, empowering, and guiding. Transactional leadership theory. Now, in transactional leadership theory, it emphasizes the realizations of a desired outcome and result. The leaders motivate the followers by way of reward system, that is rewarding the performers and punishing the non-performers. The theory emphasizes maintaining a cordial relationships with the followers, the leaders, and the followers must work mutually to meet the organizational goals. In transformational theory leadership style, here it states that leadership is effective only if he can transform or changes the perceptions, behavior, and expectations of the followers and direct them towards a common goal, which will lead to the accomplishment of the leader's vision. So such leaders have a charismatic and influential personality. So the following are the key factors behind the transformational leadership. psychological transformation, that means bring a changes to a perception and mindset of the follower. Then inflectual, so the leader has to create a strong impact on the followers. Then motivational, generates positive energy within the followers. And inspirational, encourages them to achieve something. So, and the last one is individual impact. The leader should create a powerful effect on the behavior and perceptions of the followers. So that is all about the various leadership styles and the theories. So these are very important because it depends on the leaders most of the time, and also it depends on the participants' activities or involvement in the group to achieve the organizational goals. So to know about the leadership, different styles and the theories is important because this will help to influence the employees or the subordinates to fulfill the objectives of an organization. So that is all about the leadership, different styles and the theories. Okay, so I believe you are clear with it.
Yes, but it's a bit confusing because there are so many